Hey, good morning and salute to everybody joining me today. But what inspired this live is I saw this short come into my feed. Let me just go ahead and get right into it.
Dang, I can't remember his last name, but his name was Kevin. That was that dude who was talking to all those women about high value men and things like that. And I had went on his talk show once, and he told me pretty much that because I was 50-year-old woman that I didn't qualify for a high value man.
So this video come down my FYP. So I just check it out. She's talking about Kevin Samuels. Let me see what she got to say. And in the middle of the video, something happened where I can't even concentrate on what she's saying no more. Check it out.
I don't want to believe that because it's hundreds and thousands and millions of men in the world. I know they on Facebook dating and stuff, but
bam, right there. You see how the filter dropped off her face, and hey, we look at that night and day. For me, it was like, okay, I couldn't even concentrate on what she was saying no more. Now I'm just rewinding the video and pausing it, trying to catch it at the right time when she turned around right before the filter smacks right back on her face. And it took a little minute, but I caught it. And here we go. Night and day. This is how you actually look. And this is how the filter make you look. I was just completely baffled by this. The whole filter glitch just had me completely taken. I didn't give a fuck about what the rest of the video was even about.
Dang, I can't remember his last name, but his name was Kevin. That was that dude who was talking to all those women about high value men and things like that. And I had went on his talk show once, and he told me pretty much that because I was 50-year-old woman that I didn't qualify for a high value man.
So this video come down my FYP.
Let me stop it right there. And again, this is what you're dealing with in many situations now in the dating and relationship market. A lot of men, you can't pull this off. You can't pull it off. You just can't. We have to deal with our reality as men. You see? Let me go ahead and take this off subscriber only mode, but get the chat going here. Stand by. You can't but you notice the sorcery, right? What's up, Red Pill Science? Salute to you, my brother. Nothing is what it seems anymore. Believe half of what you see and nothing what you hear. Everything must be validated by thorough investigation and pure evidence. Sorcery. Man, they have so many AI generated filters. Like women could look at me and say, "Peaceful life, you're old, you're bald, you got no hair." They can call me whatever they want to call me. But this is me. This is me. Call me whatever you want to call me. Accept me, reject me. I don't have any makeup on. I don't have any filters on. I'm just a 50-year-old dude. When I walk outside, I'm a 50-year-old dude. You see me, you get what you see. When I go in the shower, I look the same way when I come out the shower, right? But as I go through my social media page, I can't help but notice that the ladies, I love them, but they have brought some things back from the dead. They have literally brought the Crypt Keeper back from the dead, some of these women. It's madness out here in these streets. And guys that are Gen X and even guys before me, the boomers and whatever else, we've woken up into a whole new reality that technology and the technology is ridiculous. I mean, who else is a Gen X among us in this chat? What's up, my brother? Let's see, brother. Ethereal Dreams. Just checking in from London, my brother. After 12 hours on a plantation. Oh, Cynthia G. She's crazy. Of course, we know how crazy that broad is. What's up? Well, brother, Red Pill Science. Of course, gunmetal guy. If you existed in this world before social media, there's just a new reality for you. I can remember, like, before these things, I remember, like, remember the size of phones? Like, if you had a cell phone, that big ass brick, if you had that big ass brick and cell phone, you were the man back in the 80s. That shit was expensive too, man. That was expensive. You had a cell phone back in the day. When we had the beepers, when we had them small beepers like this size, we look at them beepers and be like, yo, somebody beat me. Dudes should be walking around like this. Yo, somebody just beat me. And then he's like, yo, you got some quarters? He go to the payphone. You had to call up. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah. I see you beat me, man. Looking at this beeper like this, dude's big beeper. I can even remember the rotary phone. Dude would be like, rotary phone like this. On that phone, calling somebody. So I understand, as we've seen the evolution of technology, we got screens, we got filters. What you see is not what you're getting. They got these waist trainers, waist tighteners. What is this shit right here? Let me see. You don't know what the hell you're looking at nowadays. You can have like fat being sucked, you have some shit like, you on some shit like this, right? Let me share the screen. Get that out of there. You could be on some different type shit like this, right? Let's move to the next screen. You can see some shit like this. Like, look at this chick right here. Literally, they got the fat being sucked in with these waist trainers. Look at this. I mean, it's crazy, right? You don't even know what you're getting. Like, literally putting pressure on that fat, putting serious pressure on that fat. So men are living their reality, but women don't have to. I'm seeing Gen X women like my age, even on my Facebook page. And I'm one of those unapologetic masculine dudes. And I was just like, yo, knock it off. Come on. We graduated high school the same year. Stop it. You don't look like that. You're scamming dudes on the internet. They've made themselves look sexy. They be wearing this shit, make themselves look slim. It's crazy nowadays, man. He said, Ethereal, you had the beeper back in the day? Hell yeah. Be like, yo, be like this, yo. Somebody trying to get at me. Somebody trying to get at me, right? But they got all this shit, man. They got more crap. It's crazy the amount of crap they have, man. So you don't know what you're looking at anymore. It's sorcery. Witchcraft. It's witchcraft. So you have to take these women for a swim. Take them to the beach. Let them get in the water with you. So you can see exactly what you're working with. You can see all the physical marks and scars, the stretch marks, the cesarean sections, the fupas, the back stretch marks. When they wash all that crap off, all that blemishes off, it's sorcery. It's freaking sorcery out here in these streets. You know, and I'm a Gen X old dude. And age don't mean maturity out here in these streets anymore. Women that are my age see themselves as their 25-year-old self. You think, well, she's older. We live in a gynocentric environment. And an environment that do not hold women accountable for anything. And a lot of men are simps. Let's be honest. That's why women are so thirsty nowadays for masculinity. They don't even know what to do when they get a masculine man. Like, this dude ain't trying to gaslight me for box. I mean, they become instantly attractive in some ways because they're like, I can't believe a Peaceful Life said that. You're an animal. But they stick around because they're not used to that type of brutal, honest masculinity. They're used to dudes kissing their ass and pandering to them for box. And we've created an environment that's so out of touch with reality nowadays. First of all, guys, hit the like button. Let's get some likes up. Let's get this channel. Let's get this thing going right now. So when I played that video in the beginning, this is an example of the sorcery that you see out here today. And some thirsty guy sitting around with, holding his meat on social media be big. That's why OnlyFans is the most disgusting thing ever on this planet. Holding his meat, looking at women on the internet, boosting their self-esteem. And you have the older women with this type of mentality and mindset. You can't talk to these women. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. Like, I'm glad this brother pointed this out. Like, look at the difference in that.
So I just checked it out. She's talking about Kevin Samuels. Let me see what she got to say. And in the middle of the video, something happened where I can't even concentrate on what she's saying no more. Check it out.
I don't want to believe that. Because it's hundreds and thousands and millions of men in the world. I know they on Facebook dating and stuff, but.
Bam. There we got it.
Bam.
Freeze it. There we got it. You see that? Let me make it bigger. How we get it bigger? You see what's going on right there? Look at that right there. That's who she is right there. You see all that right there? That's caked onto her face. Yep. That's cake up. That's the real woman right there. That's her. That's what a guy is getting. And I don't say anything is wrong with it. She's just a mature older woman. But that's what she's getting. You know, it's sorcery. It's bullshit. So she's out here bullshitting. See, this is what problem people talk about. Everybody drops the conversation to a level of men that say things, they say it because they can't get box. But sometimes, even if you can get all the box in the world, you still have to deal with sorcery. And that's why you have so much post-nut clarity depression. That's why dudes be like, what the hell did I get my hands on? What did I just pound out? Because you went in there with this, you thinking you got something good. She washed that shit off. Next thing you know, you end up like this. You know what I mean? Like, now dude's mad because he experienced some shit, He was sold a bag of goods. He looking at something, She got all these waist trainers on, waist tightening on, smacked up with 1 inch of makeup. And you went in there hot and bothered. You went there like this. You went there like this, right? And you ended up in this state of mind. It's sorcery, man. So let me get that back on the stream. Get this out of there. It's the bullshit you deal with nowadays. You know what I mean? And they ask, why are so many guys single? Because of this type of bullshit. Look at that bullshit right there, man. Imagine that. Just be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you are, ladies. Like, look at that. And that's why they stay single. You know, because when a woman sees me, she sees exactly who I am. There's no bullshit. You know, it's like, yo, there he is. 50-year-old guy with bald head. His hairs fall out his head. You know, it's what it is. What you see is what you get. What you hear and what you see is what you get. But they want men to invest in this sorcery. Invest their time, energy, money, and resources in this sorcery. He's a Albert C. So guys, hit the like button, man. Let's move. Let me make sure I got check all my likes here. You know. But you see that, right? Red Pell. Albert C say, this is why I don't believe there are none. So there is none. It's all crazy. It reminds of the 90s movie Dude Went to Hell, was making out with a hot chick, but in the mirror she was ugly demon. Yeah, it's like crazy, man. Well, they all use filters now, even the old ones. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, right? He said she looked like Uncle Elroy. Yeah, like, it's crazy, dude. This is what we're dealing with, man. So you have to adjust your mindset mentality. So she showed her true.
Right there. You see how the filter dropped off her face, and hey, we look at that night and day. For me, it was like, okay, I couldn't even concentrate on what she was saying no more. Now I'm just rewinding the video and pausing it, trying to catch it at the right time when she turned around right before the filter smacks right back on her face. And it took a little minute, but I caught it. And here we go. Night and day. This is how you actually look. And this is how the filter make you look. I was just completely baffled by this. The whole filter glitch just had me completely taken. I didn't give a fuck about what the rest of the video was even about.
Dang, I can't remember his last name, but.
So this is where the problem becomes, you know. We have older women my age that are leading with their sexy. You're leading with your sexy instead of leading with your squared away nature and your good tasting lasagna. And the fact that your house, your home is squared away, you're squared away mentally, you have your resources together, your mindset is mature. They're leading with their sexy and using artificial enhancers to increase this perception or image of, you know, we know it's bullshit. Older guys know that, look, we got to get this one wet in some pool or some beach to see what we got, what we're working with. But it's like they're, you know, scammers. And that's why they can't get into relationships. You know, because now the dude feel like he's being scammed. She's trying to charge a high price for admission into a relationship with her. You know, she don't have any of the skills of our grandmoms and mom. See, those old women had skills. They can keep a man around. Outside of their physical, them women can run some houses. They had some cooking skills, some nurturing skills. But these women ain't got no damn skills. All they doing is selling used box. Old, worn out, rigorously and viciously pounded out box. They don't have no skills of women of the past. Man, women of the past can create some stuff out of, like, literally. It's crazy. They got no skills. Like, this sorcery, man. This is bullshit. And this is why, like, you got to deal with this bullshit. This is the bullshit you got to deal with in 2025. It's bullshit. Yeah, like, it's XL said they stopped selling plates, right? Yeah, like, they got no skills. Like, older women used to have, like, back in the day, like, older women used to have, like, real skills. They'd be able to keep a man. Like, they had skills, man. Like, you go over to their house and be like, the first thing you walk through the door, you smell some shit that's cooking out of that kitchen. Like, damn, what's she cooking? She's not trying to out sexy the next woman. She's got real skills. Her house is squared away. Yeah, her bathroom is clean. She don't got no medication for a mental illness in the medicine cabinet. Her refrigerator is stocked with food. Shit that you can cook, not shit that you can microwave. Her house is vacuumed and clean. Her bathroom is clean. Her trash is empty. And she's got food left over in the refrigerator from the last 2 days she's been cooking. She's got a squared away life. But these things out here today, this is a whole different game. Because now they're trying to gaslight older dudes like me who've been around. You know, obviously being single at an older age is partially dysfunctional, I would say, if I'm being honest. Old people really don't have no business on the dating relationship market. Old people like me especially. But now, they're not leading with their skills or their talents or their abilities. They're leading with sexy. It's the absolute most disturbing thing ever to see old women leading with their sexy. It just hurts your brain as a mature man. You'll be like, because you know what the deal is, right? You know what it's going to end up being sooner or later. You're going to end up in that state of mind. So let's move right along. Let me get that out of there. We're going to move along, gentlemen. I've beaten this horse too long. Let's move right along. You know, she got that one off, though.
His name was Kevin. That was that dude who was talking to all those women about high value men and things like that. And I had went on his talk show once, and, you know, he told me pretty much that because I was a 50-year-old woman that I didn't qualify for a high value man.
So this video come down my FYP. So I just checked it out. She's talking about Kevin Samuels. Let me see what she got to say. And in the middle of the video, something happened where I can't even concentrate on what she's saying no more. Check it out.
I don't want to believe that, because it's hundreds and thousands and millions of men in the world. I know they on Facebook dating and stuff, but
Bam, right there. You see how the filter dropped off her face, and hey, we look at that night and day. For me, it was like, okay, I couldn't even concentrate on what she was saying no more. Now I'm just rewinding the video and pausing it, trying to catch it at the right time when she turned around right before the filter smacks right back on her face. And it took a little minute, but I caught it. And here we go. Night and day. This is how you actually look. And this is how the filter make you look. I was just completely baffled by this. The whole filter glitch just had me completely taken. I didn't give a.
But it gets worse too, right? And it gets into delusional expectations. I mean, it gets worse than just the source. It gets worse than just the sorcery. The sorcery is just one part of it. right? Now, beyond the sorcery, there are ones that are gaslighting value. Gaslighting value, I think, is just as bad as the sorcery, because they're trying to convince somebody that something that has 200,000 miles on it is worth brand new prices. Let me give you an example of gaslighting value. And this it's gotten crazy out here in these streets. Gaslighting value. Salute to my brother.
How soon in a relationship should a woman ask a man for some money?
As soon as I start giving you some pussy.
Right away?
Right away. I'm giving you some pussy, I can ask you for some money.
So are you selling it or what are we
If
doing?
I'm giving you some pussy, I can ask you for some money. And no, it ain't no selling, because really, no real man ain't gonna want to be with no woman like that intimately and be all up in my time without even wanting to do something for me.
Okay.
Real man don't do that.
Okay, now here's the deal.
Real man don't come through the door empty-handed.
I get that. I get what you're saying.
Especially if you are sexually active with him. A real man knows.
Are you dating this man or you just having sex with this man?
They know having sex. A
You
real
still-
man
you
knows
can ask.
that it's gonna cost some money in some type of way to spend time with the woman. Whether you're buying food, whether you're buying weed, whether you're buying wine, whether you're giving a little money. A real man knows it's gonna cost you some money when you spending time with a woman.
Okay, I got that. Now let me share something with you, because maybe it's just me. I live in my own little world.
Okay.
Women never ask me for money.
Because you probably not the type of dude that has to ask for money. Do you take, if we're going somewhere?
Absolutely. I got all that.
Exactly. Do
got
I
all
have to reach in my wallet?
No, for nothing. No.
Exactly.
Nothing. None of that.
If you have a few extra dollars and you want to do something nice for me, or you heard me say, I really want to go, and I'm not a nail and hair money, because I feel like that's something we as women, we can take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But if you, I don't know if you just hear say something about some shoes or somewhere she want to go, a spa or something. Hey, babe, I heard you said you want to go to the spa. You go a few dollars. Why don't you go?
Okay, if he doesn't say that, what's the amount in that, like 2 days after having sex? If he doesn't say that and he ain't picked up on none of your clues after you dropping clues, what's a fair amount to ask a man after you gave him some ass? A fair amount.
Just a couple $100, few $100. I like to say a couple of dollars. I
Couple
like
of
to say
dollars.
a few dollars. Like, I need a few dollars. And a few dollars to me is
A few $100.
A few $100. We'll say at least up to $500.
But he turned around and he give you $35.
But that ain't a few dollars.
What do you like? Are you offended?
What I'm gonna do with $35?
Well, in his mind, that's a couple of dollars.
Now, if I ask my man to tell, and if I say, babe, I need a couple of dollars in my pocket, you need $35. Now that's just cheap. You could at least start with 100 and up.
How did we get this gigantic batch of retards in this world? If the
How soon in a relationship
Democrats don't do shit else, these stupid mother.
should a woman ask a man for some money?
As soon as I start giving you some pussy.
Right away?
Right away.
You can't.
Motherfuckers will go against any.
Let me see. Let me get that out of there. How do you make this shit up? Boy. Yeah. I mean, what can I say, gentlemen? What can I say, man? Let me go ahead and put that back open there. I mean, she's selling box. That's prostitution. I mean, what else is it? And again, that's an older, mature woman. He said, I bet you give her the Joe Blow $2 and attitude gotta change. I agree. That's basically red light district mentality. And they talk a lot about all these guys, these whatever, passport bros and all these other guys and men and tricking and all this other nonsense they talk about. The red light district is right in front of our face. This is the red light district. We see it every day. It's worse than the red light district because it's scammery. It's worse. It's worse than the red light district right here in America. You know, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. What is this? I mean, look, even the one I have on my channel, I'll share screen. It's begging. It's begging. It's whatever.
I'm wrong, but I personally feel like broke take vacations. I feel like broke men cannot go on vacation for 4 days because they only worry about getting money or getting back money. But I feel like a successful man, a man with some money put up, they want to enjoy the fruit of their labor. They want to go on vacations, to drink some margaritas, to be by the bar, to go experience life. That's just how I personally feel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you ever been on vacation with a who was broke and was he wanting to get back home? Or have you been on vacation with a rich who wanted to ball out and stay out there? They was like, we finna move out here. You had to extend the trip because nigga had so much money to spend.
Like this, I just start laughing.
Yeah, but again, broke dude or dude with money have one thing in common. Both dudes smashed, and you have 2 extra bodies. And again, that's just the mentality. But it gets even, you know, so age don't even matter. It's all, you know, it's a transactional game for them now in 2025 for many of them. So they, you know, you talk about men doing this or men tricking or men doing that. It's right in front of us. Like, let me go to my brother, ask an older man. It gets even, salute to my brother, ask an older man. This is a 40-year-old woman. Okay. This is a 40-year-old woman. Let's see what she has to say.
How old are you?
40.
40?
Yeah.
You got a kid?
Absolutely.
First of all, you're 40.
But I don't look 40, so that doesn't matter.
It matters.
It don't.
You know why it matters?
Yeah, and please tell me why.
Because you don't look 40.
Mhm.
There's somebody who actually is not 40.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go pay her bills because she's not 40. She doesn't have any kids. Now, speaking on the men, I mean the men you want. Not just the guy that's a fuck around that you like, I don't even want to take serious. We're speaking on the guy that you want.
But there are still those ones, those certain guys that don't go by that same thing.
Men will sit here and tell you, this is how we think. You guys will say, no, it's not. This is how you think. But you're a woman telling men how we think. You got this guy over here. He can pay all your bills. You got this guy over here. He lives with his mom on the couch. Which one you picking? If you got the choice.
Definitely going to choose an independent one. I'm not going to choose the guy that's still staying with his mom.
Right. A woman with a kid is the equivalent of the guy that stays with his
No,
mom.
it's how?
Yes, it is.
This is going to be a quick one. This is one of my shorts. It blows my mind when women say, but I don't look 40. How many men you know walk around saying, yeah, but I don't look 35. I don't look 40. Hey, man, you know, but I don't look 60. It doesn't.
So guys got to live in their reality. The fact of the matter is guys got to live in their reality. Hey, guys, hit the like button. You want to support the channel, please do. You want to keep independent content going, send a super chat, send a cash app, support the channel, make it possible for me to keep coming on here and getting this good information out here. Support the channel. Let's keep this content free, objective, and clear. You know, yeah, you told me say some dudes lied to her, right? She looked, yeah, it's like crazy, right? He said, at least the red light district, you'll get your bang for your buck. These new ladies want the money while putting out the lease. Yeah, exactly. Her filter is funny because it's almost clownish, right? Yeah. That shit's ridiculous, of course. Transactional black love is the new normal. Yeah, salute to that brother, man. You know, this is what you get in the new reality of the dating and relationship market. It's like people ask me about what I think about passport bros or whatever else. All right, I don't care what grown-ass men do with their sacks. You got red light districts right here in America. Right here in America, there's a red light district online in front of us every day. OnlyFans, women asking for money every day. There's America, and the dating and relationship market is a red light district. What do you think a guy like Tyrese? What do you think that woman got with him for? Money, and got rid of him quickly when she secured that money. Scams are everywhere. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to go anywhere to get scammed. You don't have to go anywhere to experience a red light district. That's what the dating relationship market has become. It's become about purely money for many, for most. So I don't get this thing. You know what I mean? And it's entertaining to me, the conversations that we have. And especially when they talk about shaming black men. Shaming black men is the new thing, and it has to do more about control. I mean, we have like the guy, like literally there's dudes like stalking black men everywhere. Like dudes are literally watching black men sausage everywhere. Look at that. We have like harassment slave catchers and shit. You notice how they treat like black dudes like they escaped from some slave plant. Like anybody that's black, they treat you like anything you do that's free, you exercise agency, freedom as an individual to live life on your own terms. You got the slave catchers coming after you. They treat the men like they're on a plantation. They assign collective responsibility. They like you are our slave. How dare you escape the community, you black man? Because this is the plan they have for your life. This is what they have planned for you. Salute my brother Dolomite. I appreciate the $2 super chat. Peace and blessing. You guys, send the super chat, send the cash app. We're going to keep the conversation going. This is the plan they have for black men. You see? This is the plan they have for black men. And when you don't agree with this plan, they send this shit after you. And they try and mind molest you to the new plantation. It's all psychological manipulation. See, I see a lot of videos being put out there about a particular crash out individual overseas. I see every time an individual that just happened to be black does something ridiculous overseas, they assign collective responsibility or collective whatever to all black men. This is a way to discourage other black men, not about any of that other stuff or traveling, to stay on the plantation and not live free and live life on their own terms. Because if you assign collectively responsibility, it restricts the freedom because you apply shame to one side of the equation while the other side gets to live free and do whatever the hell they want to do. It's really like hostage taking of black men, their finances, their resources, and their sexual reproductivity, or whatever they choose to live life free and on their own terms. They only do this to the men. They only do it. They don't. The women can do whatever the hell they want to do, as evidenced by this post. It's only the men that they sack watch. It's only the men, because what happens in an environment where you got a whole bunch of baby mamas and women having sex and making babies out of wedlock, somebody has to pick up the tab. Especially nowadays that the government not paying for that shit. After they've done all that fornication, who's going to pay for that shit after all that fornication? Not me. You'll catch me on the land. I ain't paying for that shit. You guys can pay for that shit. I'm out. I do whatever the hell I want to do with my life. I'm not sponsoring that bullshit. I'm not holding the bag. If you guys want to hold the bag for that bullshit, go ahead. You'll catch me on the land. So this is the plan that Black America has for the productive, intelligent, law-abiding black men. And which is strange and crazy is that every time some individual crashes out overseas, look, when you see a white man or a man of any other race do things, other white men see that man as an individual. Hey, man, it's Bob. Bob just crashed out over there. Robert just crashed out down the street. You know, they don't say, what does that have to do with me? I'm just an electrician working down the street. My name is Clark. You know, that's a white guy I see it. What does Bob have to do with me? What does Pookie or some dude crashing out down the street have to do with mine? The way I flow and the way I operate. That ain't my business. That has nothing to do with me. If Quictavious knocked up 3 chicks and made babies, what the hell have to do with me or you guys? That's their debauchery that they have to live with. But they try to use this race thing to extract votes, to keep men being scrap sexuals, eating from the bottom of the pit. Because black men, be honest with you, they've been socialized systematically by the culture to be bottom feeding scrap sexuals. Get women that are, how would I say, have been thoroughly used. But this is the plan they have for black men. And when black men don't follow this plan, they send out the slave catchers. The slave catchers are sent out to get you back on the plantation. Remember, they're slave catchers that used to be black. They want you back. They want your resources. They want your resources and they want your votes. Your resources and your votes. That's what they want. He said, but Keisha has been crashing out with both domestic. Hey, they don't care. Yeah. Because again, Keisha crashing out, look at the, that's acceptable. Keisha's, even in the community, Keisha's and Pookie's crashing out. Like, if a black man gets deleted by another black man, they don't march or do anything to protest this evil that is existing. It's only when a black man gets deleted by a European or somebody of some other race that they care, right? So it's just like everything else. The slave catcher, which is these race hustlers, I call them slave catchers. You look even like the guys overseas. What other group of men that travel overseas or part of the expat community have men literally stalking them and tracking them down to shame them? What other group of men have men tracking them down, trying to shame them or trying to assign collective responsibility to those men? What other group of men on this planet, because they see black men as part of a plantation? And you talk about white supremacists and racism. What about the racism that black people exact against each other? The new plantation. That's what I call it. This itself is racism. It's racism against black men. That's what it is. It's about control. Control to extract resources because of irresponsible breeding. Because irresponsible breeding creates a bunch of responsibilities in the community where you don't have responsible men. So you give your body and sexual access to the worst men first, and then try to get the best men to eat the leftovers instead of giving sexual access to the best men. That's what a functional community does. Or you reward the best men by letting them eat first. That's how a functional community works. You don't give the best men the worst. And that's just it's ridiculous, you know. But that's what it comes down to. Yeah, exactly. This is when it comes to the chicks that use filters. This is their subliminal way of telling the world they cannot accept it. They can't. The problem is that old people, even like myself, don't belong in the dating relationship market. Old people like myself don't belong in the dating relationship market. Right? 50-year-old dudes like me, just like 50-year-old women, whether they'll say it or not, don't belong in the dating relationship market. With people like our age supposed to be getting ready for grandkids and whatever else. I mean, I've been married before I have adult kids. I've played my card. I'm not going to be out here trying to live the life of a 25-year-old young man or 30-year-old young man. This is his time to get out here and enjoy and build his kingdom for the future. You know, you're not going to find me in the club at night, you know, trying to do my electric slide and shit. Them days is over. He said, you know, one's up to clean up the mess generated by, yeah, exactly. So this is why they send out the slave catcher. The slave catcher is like, you know, like they that's what they do. This is what the slave catcher. This is why, but Omar messed up. I told you before with the new plantation. Omar made the mistake of not understanding the rules of Panda Bear activity, which is the customer is always right. And he went and he shamed Black women when he made that Facebook post about a certain woman's hygiene and the smell of her lower regions. That was the first deadly error. Never shame Black women if you're a Panda Bear. You will pay. You know, it's like crazy, you know. He said, what he said? He said patty rollers was the old term for slave catchers back. Yeah, they're slave catchers. Like even overseas, I see dudes overseas literally tracking down Black men, trying to expose dudes. Oh, you tricking, you buying box. What are you doing in Pattaya, Thailand? Are you selling men on 304s? Oh, who gives a rat's ass? I don't care if they buying box or gaming box or whatever else. I'm not the slave catcher. I don't have a plantation mentality. People don't owe me their resources. What do I care about another man's sausage? Only dudes that are, I'm starting to wonder whether dudes are alphabet. These dudes must be alphabet, man. Imagine tracking dudes down overseas to expose them for being in red light districts when we live in a virtual, like we live in a red light district right here. America is a red light district. And I already showed you the evidence of America being a red light district. These women aren't talking about love. They're not talking about connection. The chick's like, give me some money. America is the red light district. Man, it's crazy, right? They're trying to get paid. And they're doing anything to get paid. Look, sorcery. You know, 50 is the new 25 to them. Yeah, it's crazy. This is how we get down, man. But I want to get into another topic. And it's something I want to put out there on the record. I saw this video this morning. right? And I want to talk about this video. I know people have certain opinions about my brother Calvin living in the Philippines. Whatever you want to call my brother Calvin living in the Philippines, he made this video that caught my attention about Black men apologizing for the behaviors of individuals, which you got to stop doing. Everybody is an individual. I want to hear let's hear what he has to say. Let me go ahead and share screen. Sorry. Let's hear what this brother has to say. Oh, I'm sorry. Remove that sorcery from this, Let's hear what this brother has to say. Salute to my brother, Calvin, for this video.
My channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. I'm not going to apologize for the actions of one man over in Kenya. I'm not going to do it. Everybody see the viral video that's going around about the guy who crashed out over there. And now these Black vloggers are rushing to make videos apologizing for his behavior. Oh, not all Black men are like that. Obviously not. Because his actions don't reflect all Black men. But when you make videos like that, you buy into that narrative that if one Black man does it, we all do it. Those days are over, man. Let me tell you this. Here's the nitty-gritty. There's nothing you can do or say as a Black man that's going to change the attitude of some people and what they think about us. Our image is so messed up around the world that you can't do anything to mess it up anymore. All we can do is improve it. But let me say this, though. Let me stop. I should have said this at the beginning. Because I'm hot, man. I've been dealing with this shit my whole life. This new generation, man, it makes us look weak. They want you to bow down. They want you to apologize and bend your knee. Get up off your damn knees. He doesn't reflect all Black men. Why is it that we have to carry the weight of the Hitlers of our race? We got to carry that around. That's a heavy weight to carry around. I don't speak for all Black men. That's what I should have said at the beginning. When Vitaly crashed out over here, you didn't see white men rushing to make videos apologizing for his behavior and apologizing, saying all white men aren't like that. They know he's an individual. That guy over there is an individual. I'm not going to apologize for the actions of another grown man. Somebody I don't even know, a complete stranger. If somebody can't see that he's not a reflection of all Black men, then they'll never see it. Now, if I do something, yeah, I'm going to take responsibility. I'll make a video and apologize. But to apologize for the actions of one man, let the Kenyans handle it. Let the authorities handle it like the Filipino authorities handled it over here. When that white man went down to El Paso, Texas, and killed those 23 immigrants down there, did you see white men making videos apologizing and saying, oh, he's not a reflection of all white men? We're the only ones who do that. We're the only ones who feel the need to do that. But I'm not going to do it. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for him. First of all, I don't even know the whole scenario. They're just showing those clips of the viral video and stuff like that. But we can hold him accountable and people like him accountable. Hell, you don't even hold the people, the Pookies in your neighborhood accountable. But because he goes into Kenya, now all of a sudden you want to act like you're mad about it. Well,
yeah, but see, the difference is this. The Pookies are a part of the plantation. You see what I'm saying? The Pookies are on the plantation. They're on the new plantation. And there's no resources that can be extracted from them other than sperm. Sperm is the only resource you can extract from the Pookies. But a guy who has the resources to fly around the world and pay for things, not some degenerate or derelict loser, but the guy who has resources that can contribute to this particular system or strategy. That's why they care about, this is why they're trying to create the narrative of degeneracy, because they want to exploit resources. They can't get it out of Pookie. All they can get out of him is crime, baby breeding, and debauchery. And now with Section 8 going down and all these government welfare programs being cut, you need people. So when they see those passport bros and guys like that, they look at it as the removal of the insurance policy. The insurance policy is that guy with the big pail in his hand in the middle. So they need all hands on deck to pay for the debauchery and the dysfunction and the degeneracy that's created by irresponsible breeding. They need somebody to pay for the irresponsible breeding and the poor selection of mates. So it's a deeper thing than just seeing some dude crashing out overseas or whatever. You got to stop this stuff from spreading. You don't want men to be free and independent and have agency, see themselves as individuals and live life on their own terms, because you can't get them to sponsor this. That's what it comes down to. They're not sponsoring this reality. They're escaping the plantation. They don't want you off the plantation, because you cannot be exploited for votes and resources. Men living free, living life on their own terms, you can't get them to pay for other men's kids or extract money from them. So the best thing to do is you find a certain crash out type, and you might even want to send a crash out dude. Like when you see a crash out, if you want to destroy the image of men, whenever you see one of these crash out dudes, all you would have to do is go to his channel and send him donations and sponsorship to keep him going around overseas creating debauchery. You just sponsor. What they do is they sponsor these haters, like this dude's right here. These dudes are the best sponsors of crash out dudes. These two dudes right here, they'll send them money to sponsor them crashing out overseas. You know, those are the dudes funding losers overseas. They hate their existence. They're trapped on the plantation, the new plantation. You know, and that's what you're dealing with. So they hate to see any black man living free, because he's not attached to this. And this is why this is one of their agents, one of the slave catchers, you know, because you're breaking the rules that they have set for your life. This is the rules they have set for your life. And you're not cooperating with them. You're not cooperating. Let me add this back to the screen. There we go. Continue on.
Put him accountable. Stop having him on your platform. Stop sending him all that money that y'all send him. You're complicit. Then you want to sit back and act like, oh, you ain't got nothing to do with it. But you think I'm going to make a video and apologize for the shit he did? Bullshit, man. There's nothing you can do. Let me tell you something before I get off of here, because I get ready to go to Dumageddon and extend my visa. The image of the black man around the world is so bad. It's at the bottom. They reserved that place for us. But who gives a damn what other people think? It's time that you start thinking about yourself. It's what you think about yourself, not what other people. You can't mess it up anymore. They reserved that for us. It happens over here all the time. I was just talking to Marilyn about it. I said, The only thing we can do is to improve it, to make it better. And to some people, they don't even care about that. I said, I'm proud of the black men who come to San Carlos City and act a certain way and treat their women a certain way and carry themselves a certain way. But I'm not responsible for that. Just like I'm not responsible when people crash out like he did. To ask me if I condone that, man, you don't know me. You haven't been following my channel then. You've been following my channel for 5 years. You know good and damn well where I stand with stuff like that. But it's time for us to stop apologizing for him and his actions and other people like him. They're not a reflection of us. We're individuals, just like everybody else. We don't do anything that nobody else does. Probably do less. But we get the headlines. We get the headlines. Now you got all these people apologizing for him. Man, you don't even know the man. Oh, on behalf of black men, I want to say that we don't act like that. Stop, guys. It makes us look weak. So if in America, if in the Philippines, wherever you are, find your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by I don't help somebody. Because no matter how much pleading you do, and how much apologizing your weak ass does, all they're gonna do is wait for the next Pookie to crash out. And it starts all over again. Okay? It's a never-ending cycle. I'm just telling you the truth. I've been dealing with it my whole life. But what he does and what other guys like him do is not a reflection on me. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves.
So assigning collective responsibility, it's really a Jedi mind trick to control the population of men. It's a trick of the new plantation. Collective responsibility controls people and controls their behavior, so it makes them easy to exploit and control. What is it that they want with you that they're stalking your behavior in another country? It's the resources that you take away after all of their irresponsible breeding is done. They want resources. They want plantation slaves. They want responsibility without benefit or any type of sacrifice or any type of reciprocation is what they want. It's about control. It's about controlling everything that has to do with you being a man, a black man. It's about total control over you and freedom. And he is correct. Men, I travel overseas all the time. I see dudes of all races crash out. European dudes crash out in other places because they're individuals. They're treated as individuals. We'll say, well, they're, you know, it's just this and that. No, it is the black community, especially in America, that are coming after dudes. It is angry, bitter baby mamas and these communitized simps. These dudes is one that's coming after black men. That's who's coming after them. Nothing irritates a man that lives in bondage more than to see other men that look like him living free. Nothing irritates a man living in bondage more than seeing another man living free. Nothing irritates a woman, a non-competitive woman who's been raised in a cultured environment where she only has to provide mediocrity to men. Nothing irritates her more than seeing herself replaced by a more competitive woman, a woman that's willing to offer fair exchange. A non-competitive woman despises a woman that's willing to offer fair exchange. Even if that woman is a 304 or a red light district woman, at least if she's willing to offer exchange of value, nothing pisses off a non-competitive woman over. Because we did the scene. We see that box is being sold right here in America. What is it then? I mean, you want me to play the video again to show you? It's being sold right here in America. Box is being sold right here. You don't have to go overseas to get box. It's a epidemic of prostitution in America. In fact, I would say that if one is traveling overseas for box, it's a terrible economic situation because you've spent more money to acquire goods and services that are right in your local community. It costs a lot of money to pay for flights, hotels, travel expenses, visas. When your local 304 is right there in the street. And I made a video before. The passport, whatever, if you call a man a trick that goes overseas, well, we got a customer service issue. All the pimps and 304s need to be lined up and smacked. If I'm a pimp, I'll never be that type of degeneracy into my life, and I allow all this money to escape my local community or my local environment, this is a failure on my part. And what's wrong with my 304s if I'm a pimp? In my opinion, if you say that these passport boys are tricks, this is you're selling a terrible local product then. All the pimps need to be punished and whipped. All of the local 304s need to be punished. This is bad capitalism. How are you going to let these dudes go overseas if you say they're tricks? What's wrong with the local merchandise? Imagine somebody drives right past your store and gets on a plane to go somewhere to another place to buy a merchandise or a product. It's failures. The local hoes and prostitutes are failures. If you say that they're tricks, then the local prostitutes are failures. How would you allow this money to escape the country when we're dealing with dire financial troubles with inflation? They're canceling Section 8. You hoes are some failures. How did you allow passport bros to exist if you say that they're tricks? It's the irony of it to me. This is this is a capitalistic failure. Your pimps suck. Your prostitutes suck. Because if you were good, passport bros wouldn't exist. If you say it defies logic. You know what I'm saying? We have a customer service problem. And based on what I see in the local environment, the passport bros, if you say if they're tricks, this is a poor customer service problem that you guys need to remedy in this economy. Take all the pimps out and just whip them. What I mean? It's a terrible problem. Not that I support any of this debauchery. I'm just making an analysis. But you got dudes running around like slave catchers and shit. Omar the slave catcher. You got plantation mentality. It's ridiculous. And we see, that the prostitution is going on right in front of our face. What are they doing? They're selling. They're selling that meat. They're selling. I mean, what else are they doing? What else would you call it? So let me give you an example. I mean, even the crazy delusion, You know, let me give you an example. Like this is crazy, right? Now, we take a guess. How old would you say this woman is, right? She look at her, you see right there, she's properly, this is a vintage woman. This is a vintage woman. I am vintage because I'm old, 50 years old. But this is a vintage woman. I want you to listen to the conversation that you're getting from vintage women in 2025.
I want you to kiss me. For a Black woman, why would I continue to date a race of men who don't respect what I bring to the table, who I am, how strong I am, how I stand? There is a large percentage of Black men who don't really hold it down. As a Black woman who has always dated Black, I've dated twice outside of my race, and it was amazing. And I did feel guilty, like maybe I should stay within my race, but all bets are off now because I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to teach people how to treat me. So if I meet someone outside of my race that chooses to come at me in a more respectful, a more consistent manner than what I've been experiencing, that's what you're going to do your thing. I'm going to be colorblind.
Your price is too high for the man you qualify for.
So let me get this straight. You've been around for 1,000 years, ancient, like myself, and you haven't found anybody to buy this package you're selling. You haven't found anybody to buy this package you're selling. And this package is full of filters, full of waist tighteners, all kinds of depreciations that's going on with this package that you're selling. Right? You don't have to leave America to find all of this transactional activity going on. Right? And you can't, it's everywhere. It's all around us, right? So age doesn't necessarily mean maturity. These are older women, you know, and you don't know exactly what you're getting nowadays. You think something might be a certain way until you open up that package. And boy, oh boy, it can be disappointed very quickly. You'll be disappointed very quickly. One second. Now, if you talk about tricking, right? Because they like to get all the brothers with this tricking analogy, right? Is this not prostitution? Put a 1 in the chat if this is prostitution on a local level right here in America. Forget about these dudes overseas. This is right here in our backyard. Is this not prostitution?
How soon in a relationship should a woman ask a man for some money?
As soon as I start giving you some pussy.
Right away?
Right away. I'm giving you some pussy, I can ask you for some money.
So are you selling it or what are we doing?
If I'm giving you some pussy, I can ask you for some money. And no, it ain't no selling, because really, no real man ain't gonna want to be with no woman like that intimately and be all up in my time without even wanting to do something for me.
Okay.
Real man don't do that.
Okay, now here's the deal.
Real man don't come through the door empty-handed.
I get that. I get what you're saying.
Especially if you are sexually active with him. A real man knows.
Are you dating this man or are you just having sex with this man?
They know having sex. A
You
real
still-
man
you
knows
can ask.
that it's gonna cost some money in some type of way to spend time with the woman. Whether you buying food, whether you're buying weed, whether you're buying wine, whether you're giving a little money. A real man knows it's going to cost you some money when you're spending time with a woman.
Okay, I got that. Now let me share something with you, because maybe it's just me. I live in my own little world.
Okay.
Women never ask me for money.
Because you probably not the type of dude that has to ask for money. Or do you take, if we're going somewhere?
Absolutely. I got all that.
Exactly. Do I have to reach in my wallet?
No, for nothing. No.
Exactly.
Nothing. None of that.
If you have a few extra dollars and you want to do something nice for me, or you heard me say, I really want to go, and I'm not a nail and hair money, because I feel like that's something we as women, we can take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But if you, I don't know if you just hear say something about some shoes or somewhere she want to go, a spa or something. Hey, babe, I heard you said you want to go to the spa. You go a few dollars, won't you go?
Okay, if he doesn't say that, what's the amount in that, like 2 days after having sex? If he doesn't say that and he ain't picked up on none of your clues after you dropping clues, what's a fair amount to ask a man after you can give him some ass? A fair amount.
Just a couple $100, few $100. I like to say a couple of dollars. I like to say a few dollars. Like, I need a few dollars. And a few dollars to me is
a few $100.
A few $100. We'll say at least up to $500.
But he turned around and he give you $35.
But that ain't a few dollars.
What do you like? Are you offended?
What I'm gonna do with $35?
Well, in his mind, that's a couple of dollars.
Now, if I ask my man to tell, and if I say, babe, I need a couple of dollars in my pocket, you give me $35. Now that's just cheap. You can at least start with 100 and up.
Fascinating. So you had to start with 100 and up. Is that not prostitution? Sounds like prostitution to me. So why would I even give a rat's ass what some dude's doing overseas? Boxes being sold right in front of us. But you notice something, right? None of these slave catchers, the slave catchers that you see, are ever going to go after this woman for this type of mindset and mentality. This is they're allowed to say whatever they want, solicit whatever they want, and nobody challenges them. Why? Why? Because it's not even about the activity, it's about control. It's about controlling one gender, controlling one gender in that community. The women just do whatever the hell they want to do with no level of accountability. And the guys just go along with the plan. Well, as of late, guys have been rebelling, especially these Gen Z young men be different. They don't care. So we can't talk about prostitution and tricking and all that stuff without looking at the prostitution and tricking that's right in front of us. It's transactional. And a lot of these women have met good men in their lives. They've had good men in their lives, especially the older ones. I mean, like I saw that they like this one chick here, like they've had good men in their lives. They just fumbled good men. That's all. They've had men that do things for them, but the guy may not be as toxic enough for them. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen these types of clips. And, you know, they don't like these good dudes. They really don't. I mean, let's be honest. This is what Umar don't tell it. This is what Umar don't tell everybody. This is what Umar and them don't tell people. These women have had good men. And I'm glad some women tell the truth. Like this lady right here is telling the truth. Let's hear what she has to say. She's telling the truth.
The men that y'all claim don't exist no more, I had that type of man. I had him, and I lost him because I was stupid, foolish, young, immature, possessive, mean, with a nasty attitude, ungrateful, entitled, and ignorant. I had a good man. One who gave me roses, romantic surprises, lingerie, gift baskets. He cooked, he cleaned, he had roses and candles lined up to the floor. He was romantic. He would throw me $1,000 even when he wasn't rich just to go get my damn hair done. my toes, my nails was there. He cared about me. He played old school music and slow dance with me. He treated me good, took care of me, took care of my kids. I had a good man. And I lost him because I, first of all, was shocked that I even got somebody like that. I had never had nobody like that before. And I went into overdrive just doing stupid shit to try to control him and put my claws in him. And it was unnecessary because I had somebody who loved me for real and did not cheat. Loyal. Oh, loyal. If you got some man like that, please do the work. Be appreciative and be grateful. Don't be entitled. Do kind and nice things for him. Don't just be a taker. Give back. Respect him. Oh, respect him. Because that man, baby, he gone. He with a new woman. And she looked happy as hell. She looked happy as I did when I was with him. I'm happy for her. You live, you learn. But I'm here to tell you, you guys always say, oh, there's no good men that don't exist. They exist, but they are rare. And if they came into your life, take this message as go get some therapy, go get some help, go heal, go work on yourself, and pour back into that man. Because a good man will wake up one day. They just love your ass. And when they love you, they stay and they stay and they stay and they stay because they hoping you will get it together one day. They're not staying with you because they don't know that they're a good man and they may not be able to get anything else. Oh, baby, he know. He counting down on your clock.
But one thing I will agree is that women don't want a good man. Most women do not want a good man. She's in the streets.
So that's Exhibit A. Let's go to Exhibit B. The evidence is overwhelming, so it doesn't support the narrative that these women can't find good men. They just addicted to toxic. They're addicted to trauma and toxic. That's why Tyler Perry makes so much money. Exhibit B. That's Exhibit A. Let's present the evidence. It's irrefutable.
Yeah.
I think women understand how much they actively play a role in a man's villain arc because men.
Nobody talks about the guilt of not liking back. The kindest guy you know would treat you right. Like, he's sweet. He's respectful. He's probably the guy your mom would love for you to be with. And yet something in you just doesn't click. And then you feel bad because you can't even explain why. Like, how do you tell someone it's not you? It's just that my heart's not in it. It almost makes you feel ungrateful because you know there are people out here begging for someone like him. Nobody talks about the guilt of not liking back. The kindest guy you know would treat you right.
Right. So again, you know, they like who they like. They like who they like. The guy may not be their dating and relationship DNA. I always tell dudes, date with your dating relationship DNA. They've had options. They've had first refusal. The majority of single women out here today have disrespected their way out of a relationship. They have literally disrespected their way out of a good relationship. And that's what you see out here now. Don't believe these alligator tears. Those are alligator tears, especially if she's walking around looking good. You tell me some man has not discovered her? All of them, even the fat ones, most of them have disrespected their way to singlehood. Not all, I would say 90% of them. You know, and that's really the truth. Especially when I see them and they're older and they look good, I'd be like, interesting. Because you're getting into the great unknown. You got to do this shit day by day. Dealing with them. You got to have a blank slate with women nowadays in terms of, how would I put it? You got to have a scoring system where you start at 0 and every positive attribute earns 10 points. You got to start blank. Every positive earns 10 points. Every negative deal breaker, you do a subtraction. And when you get to a certain amount, you just haul ass some in another direction. You got to have a system. in place when you're dealing with today's modern women. But first, you gotta know what you're dealing with in the first place. You gotta even, before you even can get to the point where you have a decent dialogue with a woman, you gotta make sure it's her. You gotta make sure it's her, that she's actually the woman that she advertises that she is. You're gonna have to get her wet. Get her into some water and find out what she really looks like. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know if she's real or not. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you got to start by, you got to first start to see, like, is this person who they say they are? Not just their character, but what do you really look like? This is what I look like. That's the most disturbing thing about 20. They have really gotten good, man. Salute to the makeup industry. Salute to the AI. They have gotten good. And let me tell you something, man. You don't want to discover some things, man. Trust me. It can put you in a state of trauma. Nothing crushes your reality worse than seeing something that you was excited about when fully exposed in its birthday suit. Look, nothing like what's advertised. Nothing. And like, yo, whoa. The amount of time that it takes for these women to put on these masks, they got everything going, man. I'm like, what the hell? Even when, like, you can go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning with a different human being. Different human being in 2025. You know, it's crazy, right? Yeah, but that's where we're at, you know, and they talk about the men, but the men have to live in the truth, because what they're saying now is that they'll say all kinds of videos calling the average man ugly. They think they're better than the average man, but the average man is not enhancing himself. Any average masculine dude is not spending, unless he's on some alphabet shit, it's not spending time in the mirror, fondling himself in the morning, trying to make himself look a certain type of way. Nah, dude, get up. You got to work at the electric company, or you got to go work at UPS, or you got to work at the bank or something. Like, even when I was wearing suits, I get up and like, oh shit, brush my teeth, get everything squared away. I got to go to work and make money. I got no time to be fondling myself in the mirror like women do. I mean, that's alphabet. But they literally devote, I mean, that's a part of their value, I guess, but they devote a lot of time to doing that shit, right? But you don't know what you're getting. You'll find out very swiftly. And like I said, that's the epidemic that we see nowadays. Everybody tries to make it about women and getting boxed and all this other nonsense. Remove that. But most of the times, a lot of guys end up with a lot of disappointment on this dating and relationship market. And you wonder why relationships have a short shelf life nowadays. That's why you see so many women out here walking around single, because they haven't developed themselves beyond the sexy thing, because they just don't have the skills. They don't have the skills to keep a man. And they were raised in an environment that taught them that they're supposed to be worshipped. And when you exist in this parallel dimension where you think that you're supposed to be worshipped, what skills or anything that you would think you need to acquire to keep a man? It's just not going to happen. So that's where we're at with that, you know. And you see so many of these videos and you see so many of these individuals. So now we got to get into the twilight zone. You're dealing with absolute insanity in 2025. Insanity. So even in a situation, you may start dating a particular woman and she reveals her true self and true character, or even who she is in reality. A lot of dudes end up in this scenario. You know. Hey guys, make sure you guys hit the like button. You gotta hit the like button. Support the channel. Keep the stream going. People don't talk about PNC depression. And it's just a temporary state of mind, and that's something that I created. You see dudes like literally taking timeouts from relationship. And then people go, oh, you guys are incels. No, sometimes dudes just don't want to be dealing with the bullshit. Like, yo, dudes been in relationships all their life, and they're like, yo, time out. Time to take a break. This shit is different out here. You got to take a break. You can't deal with the crazy on a consistent basis and experience good mental health and peace. You got to take a break, man. You got to take a break. Get into your cleansing, get you a nice massage. Get some mental therapy. Go out to these nice trails. You see me walking in the park sometime, listening to my music. It's that peaceful joy that comes without hearing that noise, not dealing with the bullshit that comes with, you know, that's why I would say peace is beautiful. It's easy to be in a relationship. I mean, not easy. It's easy to get a woman to want to be in a relationship. For me, at least. But do you want that headache or the nuisance that comes with it? You know, and this is what nobody talks about. Because we've spent so many years in this gynocracy, pandering to women and validating their delusion. What happens to a person when you validate them constantly is they don't do any self-reflection. Self-reflection is one of the keys for self-development. Self-reflection inspires self-development, honest self-reflection. And we're like in a low self-esteem epidemic, where it's, you know, especially with a lot of the women. That's why they're so drawn to strong, powerful, masculine men, because they don't really feel good about themselves. I mean, you think about it. Anybody who spends all day long plastering on goo on their face, if you spend all day long plastering this shit on your face, how good do you really feel about yourself? Because you're living a fraud. You're living a fraud. So you can't feel that. This is why when I see guys like, you understand how low these women's self-esteem is? You hate yourself so much that you sit around plastering bullshit. Some of them put their lives on the line to add ass, breast, cut fat off their body. Imagine how low their self-esteem is. And these are the creatures that guys allow to disrespect them or to control them. A creature that spends hours putting the equivalent of putty and Bundo and Bodyworks shit on their body. It's disturbing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But I also got a video I was going to show, but this is the reality of what we're dealing with today, man. And again, it's the marketplace that we're in. So let's get some questions and comments for you brothers, man. I was going to put in subscriber. You guys got to support the channel. We got to start going to a different direction with content on this channel. Because really you want to get into lifestyle and guys really enjoying their life and their peace. I mean, it's easy for me. I really don't do a lot of panels or conversations because I already know what women think. I know what panda bears thinks. I know what simps think. I know what modern women think. I know I can read their mind. I know what the answer is going to be to the question before I ask it. So I don't see no reason to raise my blood pressure going back and forth with women. For what? So, and I'm trying to be as cautious. I do some reaction videos, but I try to be cautious not to provide a lot of rage bait. Because what happens now, I've raised your cortisol level watching that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, you can't change a damn thing about, what's going on out here now, You can't. Because it's not going to hold on 1 second. Oh man, it's 10:37 in the morning. So I encourage guys not to live in the past. You can't live in the past. The past is not going to change. I mean, your reality is not going to change in the current world that we live in. I mean, the past is the past. There's really nothing you can do about it. You let them crash out on their own, and you're not going to change anything. This is just more for entertainment purposes. There's nothing you could change. And this is why I always talk about it right here. This is my philosophy. And even when sometimes, I don't get on these panels, you're not changing anything. After all these conversations, after all this debate, what's changed around us? Nothing. Nothing changes. The women are still what they are. The men are still what they are. The quality is still low. Well, we're trash can scrap sexuals. Sexual liberation is still going. And what changes? Nothing. Nothing changes. After people have exhausted themselves on panels, yelling back and forth at each other, obviously it makes money. You make money with debauchery. I mean, to be honest with you. I mean, substantive commentary is not going to make any money. So the drama is kept alive to make money. Or even like the guys, I've seen like you seen that the recent videos with some dude crashing out overseas. It makes money. People are getting super chats. People are getting donations. People are making videos. The drama makes money. Because people are just the animalistic nature in us. It's whatever. But at the end, ain't nothing you can do about shit. You just got to okay, let these wild horses run free. Focus on your own life. Because the only thing you can change is your own life. You can't affect anybody else's life. Even me with a platform of what, over 16,000 people, you know, I can say some things on this channel, but inevitably things will remain the same. Only the people that maybe subscribe to this channel, maybe I can offer some value to the young men, or perhaps share my own experience, or encourage men to take care of their health and their well-being and their finances on an individual level. Or I can show things through the examples that I live in my own life and spread to other people in their lives. But people, I look at some of the channels, sometimes I glance in, and it's a chaotic, debauchery situation. They have multiple donations going to these channels and whatever else. But if you try to bring some real wisdom and logic, nobody wants to support that. They love the celebrity gossip. They love dudes crashing out overseas. They love the irrationality and excitement that comes with the drama, you know, and that's really what it comes down to. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting to me how everybody is so caught up on the actions of individuals, you know, and not looking at, you know, they try to assign collective responsibility to individual behavior because somebody has brown skin. Like me, now I have responsibility for some dude crashing out, or some dude committing crime or doing some bullshit that I have no control over. And it's the same thing with the community. They want you to have responsibility but no authority. If I don't have the authority to control and tell somebody what to do, I'm not responsible. If I can't tell you what to do, I have no responsibility for your actions. Unless you're my child, my underage child, yeah, you can assign responsibility to me. But grown-ass men and women, I'm not going to take no responsibility for you. Especially if you look at me, you look like me, or you brown like me. I don't give a rat's ass. That's your poor decisions. But they want to assign collective responsibility to men because, again, you know, it's all about sharing the irresponsible behavior, sharing, like, especially, like I said, black men is the worst when it comes to people trying to share collective responsibilities, because they always want people to pay for shit that they didn't create. You know, I always want to spread the cost of irresponsible behavior to other men. Always want to spread the cost. Always want to spread the cost. Always want to spread the cost. And when you don't cooperate, as usual, when you don't cooperate, they come after you. You know, if you don't want to take part in this, you don't want to be a part of this, they're going to send them for you. But getting back on topic before I get out of here, man. Any questions you guys want to ask me personally? Because again, I'm here. I've not been traveling in the last few months. I've been on a local level, working out, spending some time with my son. He's back from college. He's about to push on out pretty soon. And I will be back on the road, probably traveling. And I like global travel. Global travel for me is like therapy. What I like most about global travel is getting away from this man-hating environment. I find the West to be very, how would I word it? I would say it. It's like a crabs in the barrel, polarizing, man-hating, debaucherous environment. Too much political bullshit and people disliking people just, you know, for whatever affiliations that they have. And like I said, it's a man-hating environment. Literally, a masculinity-hating environment. That's what I find many times in this particular culture. So when I travel, it's great to just be to be in an environment where people are going to dislike you based upon your actions and behaviors. They don't just hate you because you were born a man. That's what I enjoy so much about traveling. I ain't give a damn about no women and no boxing, no 304s or any of that bullshit. I love peace. But when I get out of an environment that is just designed to despise men for just being men, and you go somewhere where they have traditional patriarchal cultures, even though the internet and modernization is changing that somewhat on a global scale, there's not this entrenched hatred of men that I see here in the West. Well, especially America, with a lot of this ideology of feminism and all this other nonsense, where, you see all this bullshit about man versus bear and all this other stupid stuff these women are quoting. I don't deal with all that nonsense when I travel. I feel very, very much more peaceful. I mean, even though I block out all that nonsense that I see, it's an enjoyable experience, So with that being said, I appreciate Brother Dolomite. Appreciate your super chat, man. You guys want to support the channel, you can. Definitely hit the like button. We'll come up with some more topics we need to discuss, especially for you guys that are going to be traveling. If you do decide to travel, get outside the tourist zones, move around, experience the culture. I travel places where everybody don't go, as long as it's safe. It's got to be safe. I'm not going anywhere in any crime zone. I'm 50 years old. If I'm have to do like this all day long with my head on a swivel, you can count me out. You will not see me there. Any place I go and travel in the world, if I feel it's an unsafe environment, or generally, just for my general, you always got to be cautious whenever you travel. But if I look around this, I'm not going there. I don't go. I go to a safe place. I'll go to Japan, or I'll go to Singapore or some shit like that. But you're not going to find me in no environment that I feel is, questionable or unsafe. Whatever they got there ain't that exciting for me to be in an environment that I feel is unsafe. I didn't work all these years to be in environments where they have criminals and crimes. If anything, I just go to the hood. If I wanted to experience an environment where you have to be watching my cell phone like this and holding my cell phone like this to my chest, why would I want to be in an environment where I have to hold my cell phone for my chest? You might as well just stay here in America. Go to the south side of Chicago or some shit. Why? They've got plenty of 304s all over the place here. Why would you want to go somewhere and be unsafe? I ain't going nowhere about being safe. You got to be cautious everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you got to be cautious. But a place where you're constantly on the swivel, no. I've never walked around in Vientiane, Laos, with my phone like this. Look, holding my phone like this. Or when I go to the ATM and take my money out in Vientiane, Laos, and we worry about. I've never been in like a place like Japan. You're not going to the ATM in Japan like this. Looking for, no, you're not holding your phone like this and shit. No, hell no. I'm not going anywhere where I'm gonna have to hold my phone to my chest and watch for somebody's, man, bullshit. I'm 50 years old. I ain't doing none of that bullshit. If I go to places and I stay on the resort where my old ass belongs. Period. That's where I belong, on the resort. I ain't going in. I don't need that type of action. Come get me on the resort. I'll go out that way. Ain't doing that shit. That's for the young bucks. I have better things to do with my time and my energy. Oh, well, yeah. Hey, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, too. You know what? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I have some time today. I had to take the day off from the gym. So, you know, I definitely have some time today. What else are we going to discuss? I go down my list. Remember the items. Hold on, I think I had another video here. I think I played that already. Let me see. Oh gosh. I'm not even going to get into all that. That's ridiculous. Anyhow, I'm out for the day, guys. Appreciate you guys coming through. You want to support the channel, please do. We're going to have more conversations with, make sure you guys join the membership for the channel next month. Don't join it now. Join it next month when it turns around the 1st. So you get a full month. Keep membership levels low. But we got to get out of this conversation and move into some more different things. Maybe get into some finances, get into some investment, getting a lot of different things. We're already pushing the health aspect of things, your health, your wealth, your finances, your mental health especially. But we'll get into more aspects of things that we need to discuss. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here for the day. Appreciate you guys joining me. Leave your questions down below in the comment section. Until next time, I am out.